Hello, darlings. Merry post-Hanukkah. I think we're still in Kwanzaa. Post-solstice. Pre-New Year. And that's all I got. It's so great to see you guys. My cherished ducklings. I'm Perry Lyons. This is Moonstruck TV. And I'm Perry Lyons, New York City celebrity psychic. I was going to talk about New Year's resolutions. What I like to do is make New York resolutions. Listen to me, I'm such a New Yorker. Make New Year's resolutions that are, if I break them, I'll feel good. So my resolutions are to gain 10 pounds, to exercise less, to start smoking. I don't know, be mean to people. So I'm pretty confident that I can not keep those. Anyway, it's great to see you. I am about to do the psychic tarot weather for the week. And if you're a regular viewer, and if you are, heavens bless you, and heaven bless you anyway, you'll know that every week we start the show off by doing a mystically accurate, if I say so myself. Sometimes sometimes like, since I do this randomly, I'll find myself in the middle of the week saying like, wait a minute, I predicted this in my show last week. This applies to me too. But by the way, excuse the high-tech headphones, but so if you're tuning in, it doesn't matter what sun sign you are, it doesn't matter what Chinese year you are, although we're going to do a whole show on Chinese years, like Year of the Ox, etc., next week. Anyway, if you're watching this or listening to this, it applies to you. It's called synchronicity. Woo! Don't make me spell it. Okay. So the cards for this week, as you know, the first card is the first part of the week. The second is the second part of the week. The third is the third part of the week. Thank God my math is brilliant. Okay. And it's all done randomly. It's pretty much everything in my own life, because if ADHD were people, I'd be China. Okay, 1 second. Here we go. All right. Well, and Angela in Arkansas is on hold. Hi, baby. Do you mind if we go through the psychic weather, and then we'll concentrate entirely on you and everything about you? Cool.
Absolutely.
I love Arkansas. Great. Okay. This card, someday I'm going to learn to hold these. So this is the beginning of the week, which makes sense. The Two of Wands is about beginning a project. It's like you've taken the first step. There's a great quote about beginning something by a dead German guy named Goethe, who said, whatever you do or dream you can do, begin it. Boldness has genius and power and magic within it. So anything that you've been putting off, which for me is pretty much everything for the past 2 years, start now. Because the universe, you take that one step and the universe will meet you 99 other steps. I mean, in your direction. Wouldn't be so hot the other way. So, and this is a card in the tarot. Wands have to do with just day-to-day life. Wands is like, as John Lennon said, life is what happens when you're making other plans. Wands is like just how you're living your life. And this means that you're beginning something and it's going to work out. I just love doing that. Okay. Oh, by the way, this is my New Year's hat. So happy hat New Year's. Okay. Oh, this is nice. Oh, I love seeing the strength card. The strength card, you'll notice, is a woman who is either wrestling with a lion or taming him. You can't quite tell if they're friends or enemies, but we're just going to go on the assumption that she is taming this lion. And what this always means in the years that I've been doing readings is that you're about to conquer a problem that has seemed like it's so much a part of you. It's so chronic that it can't be conquerable, but it's going to be conquered. So you could be coming out of a depression. You could be recovering from a chronic condition that's physical. Well, depression's physical. You could have, something that's plagued you all your life. I'm terrified of wombats. You'll suddenly stop being terrified of wombats. And it's a triumph card. And it's just a card that means like, you've stuck at this, you haven't given up, and triumph is yours. Okay, whee! Love that. This last card feels like it's going to be important. Oh, it is. This is an interesting card. Now, as I'm sure you all know, swords in the tarot have to do with intellect. Often they have to do with the law. They have to do with ideas, thinking, and swords can also be, there's a reason that the term double-edged sword exists. Swords can be used to hurt or to heal in the same way that, a surgeon can use surgeons really don't use swords. And if a surgeon actually gets out a sword during your operation, you might want to switch doctors. But metaphorically, a surgeon uses a knife to cut out something that needs to be cut out for your own health. A sword also can be, it's the sword of truth, like the one Archangel Michael wields, not yields. But swords also have to do with cutting things out of your own life that aren't working, letting go of, for instance, toxic friendships, letting go of other people's ideas of who you should be. It can also mean sometimes it can mean having a bit of a sharp tongue. You know how occasionally you'll have people who'll say something really mean to you and then say, I'm just being honest. And I'm like, screw that. There are ways of being honest that don't involve hurting people. So this card means three different things. One, it means that you're probably going to be hanging out with, well, I don't necessarily want you to hang out with a lawyer, except maybe socially, because it's often not a good thing. But you're going to be, you might meet somebody romantically who's a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, because swords have to do with air signs. This might be somebody who's re-entering your life too. It might mean that you're winning some sort of legal or medical battle. I mean, don't fight with your doctor. You know what I mean? This has to do, again, with the strength card, which we just saw. So it might be that some sort of legal or medical battle that you've been fighting a long time resolves in your favor. You win the case, you feel better. And what's the last thing it means? Oh, the last thing it means is that you're cutting out, you can be decluttering. I just got rid of 42 bags of clutter. I put it in my neighbor's backyard. They'll never notice. And it's getting your life kind of aligned with your truth, getting streamlined. And that's what we got. Yes. So, Angela, in Arkansas, how are you doing, baby?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. What a nice, cheerful vibe you have. Cool. I love Arkansas too. What was I about to say? Oh, yes, I know what I was about to say. I like to connect to people through their birthdays. So if you could Tell me your birthday. That helps me
Yes.
connect to your spirit. Right.
Yes. It's February the 7th, 1975.
I had a feeling you were going to be an air sign. It's a very air sign feeling today. That's a very good birthday. I was engaged to somebody with that birthday once, but not yet. Sadly, it might have worked out better. So let's see. It feels to me, actually, life has been taking kind of an upswing for you recently. Part of me feels like one reason you're calling is to get affirmation that this is going to keep happening for you. But do you have a specific question, my dear? Feels like you have kind of a romance / career thing.
A what now? I'm sorry. I coughed.
How dare you cough? Don't you know who I think I used to be? So, yeah, just tell me the first question that springs to mind, because that'll be the right one.
I would say really and truly kind of just a general reading. I'm just kind of looking for, like you say, affirmation of kind of anything that pops up, maybe message from a loved one or spirit message or guidance, maybe.
Always good with God. Let me just get, you've got like 180-degree change for the better coming up. You're thinking about changing your life you're thinking about changing your life in a major way. Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool. Now, this could have to do with two things. You know what? I'm going to I don't always use the cards during readings, but let's see. Well, first of all, it looks like in the past, this card upside down means that in the past, I'm sorry, I should hold that back up so you can see what it actually is. That would help. Right side up, it means somebody like winning, but winning by like kind of being mean to other people, which is totally not you. So, however, what it does mean is in the past, you might have been in relationships where people didn't treat you with the verbal, emotional, spiritual, and mental respect that you deserve. Am I right?
Yep.
Sorry about that. That sucks. Happens to the best of us. And
no, you're right.
What?
You're right.
This says to me that, sometimes when we grow, when we grow out of a way of being, right? When we grow out of being somebody who accepts that kind of behavior in our life, I mean, not that that was your fault, but you're very kind. And you're also, in the past, you were very willing to say like, yeah, you're right. That was my fault and I'm wrong. You're not doing that anymore. And you're not open to that kind of relationship anymore. I'm sounding like I'm yelling at you. I'm not.
No, no, I get it.
But you just, something has happened where your confidence is growing by leaps and bounds. I think it's partially because I'm not going to remember any of this. I'm just flat out channeling right now. And by the way, some of this is coming from loved ones on the other side, yours. I mean, you have outgrown the need to be smaller than you are, not physically. What I mean by this is that put this. Okay, come on, Barry. Get your tongue to catch up with your mind. Okay, here's what I mean. As part of the big changes you're making, two of which might involve both moving and learning a new skill or a new trade or going back to school. And you don't have time for the drama or bull poop that that emotionally abusive relationships take up. You don't have time for it. This year,
Right.
you're about taking your gifts into the world. There's been some sort of shift with you recently, and I could not be happier about this because honestly, I've known you for 5 minutes and I just think you're awesome. Um,
Thank you.
well, you are. You're lovely and kind. Um, where was I going with this? In the past, you what the missing piece of the puzzle was that you thought being modest or being reserved was a way of being good. I don't think God or the big love or higher power, whatever you want to call that, right?
Yeah.
Wants us to be modest. I think that you have something has snapped, and not snapped literally. I'm not like the TV show. You're not running after a man with a knife. Although, if you feel like doing that, I do have a short list. Anyway, back to you. What's happened is you've realized that being your best self is a form of service. It's a form of generosity. It's a form of giving to the world in a way that makes you happy. Now, you have a lot of gifts. This one feels, are you going back to school for nursing? It's not quite it.
No, actually, it's teaching blind people independence with technology.
Fabulous. Oh, I'm so thrilled. Yeah. What a great thing to do. Oh, yay. Okay. It was medical, but I couldn't, I was like, no, it's not nursing. Oh, yeah. It's fabulous. So are you moving as well?
Actually, it would be kind of sort of. Yeah, because it would be to Kansas City. And it's a school. It's teaching at a school.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so proud of you.
Hopefully, if the job comes through. The
job will come through.
So keep your fingers crossed.
The job's going to come through. Fingers crossed. Knock wood. But Kansas City, here I come. They got some crazy little women there. But anyway, you're not a crazy little woman. That's wonderful. And I think that this is, let me draw one more card. Yay! I thought that was what it was going to be. I don't know if you're currently in a relationship. If you are, it's probably not the one for you. Forgive me if you're happily married and I'm talking out my butt, but I don't think I am.
No.
I think that's you're gonna meet your person there, and you're gonna meet it, him, her, other, when you least expect it. You know that moment. I don't know about you, but in my own life, it's always been the moment, and that has to do with this card. It's always been the moment when I'm like, you know what, I'm not with somebody. I can't even remember what it feels like to be with somebody. I don't really care because I'm so happy in my own life. And that's the moment that I turn around and always.
Like spontaneous and you have no clue. Yes.
And you're not, that's not what you're concentrating on other people. You're concentrating on making yourself happy. I also think you have a natural gift for interior design, which, I don't think you should go into, but I think you're going to really enjoy making this new place that you're going to get. You're going to get a really nice apartment, and I think, or house. It's going to be near water too. So there's either a pool or something like that.
That would be amazing.
I think you're going to have such a great time decorating it. I don't think anybody's ever let you decorate a place like the way you really want to. Is that right?
No, they haven't.
It's your time, baby. Have fun.
I know, right?
Right. I think I just have the best feeling about the next 2 years for you. Wow, I love being able to say that. Oh, honey.
I hope so. When does it start?
It's starting soon, man. Starting around, first they're saying around February 14th or 15th. I don't, and then things are really going to start to move in February. And by July, it looks like you're ensconced. Oh, I like using that word, ensconced,
yes.
in a new life. But you bring all the great stuff from your old life with you. It's just, you're leaving all the, other crap behind. The last thing I'm going to say is what I was trying to say before is sometimes it can be uncomfortable to grow because sometimes we think of our limitations as our identity, you know? It's like, well, I'm a flake or and then when we stop being a flake, or not that you are, I was talking about me.
No.
But when we meet somebody, for instance, who is kind and loving and treats us with honor and respect and showers us with diamonds and all that good stuff.
Right.
I mean, the diamonds aren't necessary. I'm just throwing that in because,
right.
It's a nice plus.
Right.
Or Rolls Royce, whatever. It can feel unfamiliar, but I think that you're one of those people who is really good at outgrowing your old selves. You know, some people get really attached to their ways of being. They don't grow. You grow easily.
Right.
You're brave. And fortune favors the brave, darling. So it really does. I love this. Do you mind? One last question. Do you have a child?
I do.
Is it a son?
No, I have 2 girls.
You have 2 girls. Okay. Maybe. You're gonna. If it's okay with you, I'm having so much fun that you're going to be my only caller. So I hope that's okay. Oh, I get it. Sorry, I read that wrong. I think one of your daughters is getting married, or
that's possible.
going to, what?
I mean, that could be possible.
The reason I keep holding this card up is A, because I forgot to put it down, but B, it means it's a card of celebration. It's a card of women celebrating together. And that card means both. I believe it means you celebrating the successes that I just really feel are like lined up coming towards you. It also, to me, means often a surprise engagement. I mean, I'm assuming that your daughters aren't like 6 or 7. I mean, I think one of them is
22 and 24.
Yeah, that was my guess. It's my guess now that you said it. The secret to being a psychic is have them tell you the facts first. No, kidding. I think it's going to be the younger one. The older one, it's funny, the older one is a lot like you. Sometimes almost so much like you that in the past you almost haven't gotten along because you're so much alike. Is that the older one?
Yeah, you're right.
One? Yeah.
Yeah. The older one is just like me, yeah.
Yeah, she's just like you.
Yeah.
Your younger one, they're lovely girls too, and they're good people. One of them kind of looks like Snow White. I mean, I don't mean she's surrounded by cartoon dwarves, but does one of them have like dark hair and very fair skin?
Yes, that's the younger one.
Okay, yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. I mean, she doesn't dress like Snow White. I mean, she's welcome to, but yeah, and the other's more. The older one's more outgoing and feisty is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
The younger one is very strong. Oh, she's more reserved, more of an introvert. They're both very strong-willed. In fact, I would say one of the most dangerous places on the planet would be to be between one of your daughters and something she wants. It's
right. Yeah.
They go about it different ways, but you have done a really good job with them. You know, I'm so used to working. You're welcome. You're not a narcissist. You know, I work with New Yorkers all the time. I'm so used to talking to like narcissists that
oh my God,
you've reflected your daughters back to themselves accurately rather than impose your idea of who they should be. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That's very correct, yes.
I think that's one reason that you're not with their dad, because I think that's a good thing. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I think he was somebody, you know what, I'm not going to dwell on the past, but very, nothing wrong with people being very rigid, but he had very rigid ideas.
Yes.
And a very rigid way of being, and was a little controlling, and by a little, I mean a lot. The person I see coming your way is somebody you can have adventures with.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, because you're adventurous. And I think
Very.
you're more of and you're a lot more of an outdoor person than you've kind of had a chance to be in the last few years. So go kayaking.
Very much.
Go, yeah. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy you called. Yay! That's about it for our broadcast. Did that seem accurate to you? Is there anything you can ask in 10 seconds that you want to know?
No. I mean, everything seems so accurate. I mean, on point exactly.
Thank you.
So I'm just going to keep my fingers crossed.
I'm so glad. Well, I didn't hear the last thing you said. Oh, fingers crossed. Yeah, you can. It's going to make typing difficult, but knock yourself out.
I know, right?
It's your time. It's your time. You don't have to hope. It's your time to receive. You've earned it. You have earned this. You really have. You've been good. You've been kind. You haven't short-sheeted anybody's bed. I don't know where that came from. You deserve this. And higher power wants you to receive this with grace, and you're going to.